Give me like 5 minutes. I got some other people that was gonna come in too. Lord will, So I'm gonna finish my avocado and my nuts. Y'all give me some time. Look at that. That look delicioso. Look at that. Look good. It'd be better if I had some Tampico salt, some pico salt. Ooh wee. Y'all have to check. Everybody, like, share, subscribe. Need to get the channel into the algorithms. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Say Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, whatever it is. Governor Wadak, share the channel, send it out, comment, do these things. Get this channel to the algorithm. Let's get it going. Comment, ask questions. We're about to go in real tough on some things, all right? Remember, hey, today is the last day of the Feast of Dedication, and y'all should know what the dedication is. All y'all should be rededicating yourself to the Most High. The temple is symbolically our bodies. Remember that. And I'm not going to go on this right here. I might do a little bit. I mean, I've been teaching on the Feast of Dedication for a while. Okay, but the thing is this. Everybody should have been rededicating themselves to the Most High, doing the things that are important. Rededicating yourself, your temple, right? The rebuilding of the temple that we did in the Maccabees is all the stuff that was going on during the Maccabees. All the eating of swine, all of us getting killed and everything for circumcising the babies, all the evil that was going on in the land that was multiplied in the world, to all our people that are scattered to the east, south, and the west. You know what I'm saying? We was doing a lot of evil things following behind an evil nation. So rededicating the temple was a good thing, but now you got to rededicate your temple to the Most High, right? There's always threefold. Let me go back on mute real quick. Hey man, y'all should listen to this video put out by Tazariak Cross the Line Radio. Hey, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I'm just, I'm about to get up on this. I just had to watch this, let the Zaquan hear this video real quick, man. Hey, y'all check that video out, man. It's a loudmouth Nigerian woman proves she's a masculine woman versus, let me see, versus Captain Tazariak. All right. So I'm just letting them hear a little bit of this. In about 2 more minutes, we're going to get to the study. It's going to be an immaculate study. Trust me, man. Going into this is beautiful. All right. So All right. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God Yahweh, and we do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai Mashiach. All right. Shema Yasharala Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa Yahweh Achad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Let's go to Genesis, the book of Genesis. We're going to start at Genesis chapter 22, verse 1 to 24, all the way top, from top to bottom. All right, all right. Fix my mic. All right. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 22, and verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that Yahweh did tempt Abraham, all right, and said unto him, Abraham. And he said, Behold, here I am. Y'all know going in what story we're going into right now? Pay attention. All right. And behold, here I am. And he said, Take now thy son, all right, thy bond, thy only bond, Isaac, whom thou lovest. Son, bond means son. B-A-N, bond means son. All right. Aqua, sister. Damn, I say daughter again. I'm sorry. I get that for y'all. But and he said, Take now thy bond, thy only bond, Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Marah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took two of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and cleaved the wood. That means he broke up the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up and went into the place of which Yahweh had told him. Then on the third day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said unto his young men, Abide you here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship, and come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son. So he laid Isaac on the table, right? And then he put Isaac on top of the table. I don't think he built the table. Whatever Isaac was laying on, he put the wood on top of Isaac, right? And he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they went both of them together, right? So I'm sorry, 6. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son, not like laid it on top of him. He just gave it to him for him to carry. And he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they went both of them together. And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, my son. And he said, Behold the fire and wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? He's thinking now, hold on, we about to go do an offering. Where is the lamb? Come on, Abba. So they went both both of them together, and they came to the place which, hold on. I skipped 8. And Abraham said, my son, Yahweh will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together. So he answered him and said, hey, Yahweh will provide the lamb. Let's just go. Right? Isaac knows that. Right? And they came to the place which Yahweh had told him, of it. Abraham built an altar there and laid the wood in order and bound Isaac his son and laid him on the altar upon the wood. So now Isaac was laid upon the wood, not the wood laid upon him, letting you know that he was just carrying the wood. All right. Verse 10. And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. And the angel of Yahweh called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, here I am. And he said, lay not thy hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest Yahweh, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thy only son, from thee. And this is where you get this precept right here. This is where you can understand that this is truth. Matthew 10. All right, Matthew 10 and 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. He that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. All right, so he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. Your burdens. Take your burdens and follow after Yahweh Shai Mashiach. All right. All right. Verse 12. And he said, lay not thy hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest Yahweh, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in the thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. So instead of his son, the ram was put into place. All right. And Abraham called the name of the place Jehovah Jireh. It is, and as it is said to this day, in the mount of Yahweh it shall be seen. And the angel of Yahweh called unto Abraham out of heaven the second time, right? And said, By myself have I sworn, saith Yahweh, for because thou hast done this thing, and hast not withheld thy son, thy only son, that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying, thy seed as the stars of heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore, and thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned unto his young men that was over there in front of the mount, right? And they rose up and went together to Beersheba, and Abraham dwelt at Beersheba. And it came to pass after these things that it was told Abraham, saying, Behold, Milcah, she hath also borne children unto thy brother Noor, Huz his firstborn, and Buz his brother, and Camil the father of Aram, and Chesed, and Hazo, and Philadas, and Aldafa, and Alaf, and Bethuel begat Rebekah, These 8 Milcah did bear to Nahor, Abraham's brother, which Rebekah is going to be Isaac's wife. And his concubine, whose name was Ramah, she bare also Tabah and Gaam and Tahash and Maachah. All right. So just naming the daughters that was and the daughters and sons that was born to Nahor's son and his brother and everything. Well, hold on. Let me not. So there was children born unto Milcah. All right. Her husband was Nahor, Abraham's brother. Huz his firstborn. So this is the son of Nahor, and Buz his brother, right? And Camil the father of Aram, right? And Chasid and Hazo and Fildash and Elapha and Bethiel. And Bethiel begat Rebekah. These 8 Milcah did bear to Nahor, Abraham's brother. So just giving you the brothers and the mothers and stuff like that. And this is very important to understand that this right here, when you go to Leviticus 18, we don't do that. Okay, the Most High changed it after we came out of Egypt. He changed some laws and things that happened, and it show you. So when you look at this, the Most High just changed some things because a lot of things were done, and he knows what's up. All right, chapter 23. And Sarah was 107 and 20 years old. These were the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Kirath of Arba, the same as Hebron in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. And Abraham stood up from before his dead and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. And the children of Heth answered Abram, saying unto him, Hear us, my master, thou art mighty prince amongst us. In the choice of our sepulchres bury thy dead. None of us shall withhold from thee the sepulchre, but that thou mayest bury thy dead. And Abraham stood up and bowed himself to the people of the land, even to the children of Heth. And he communed with them, saying, If it be your mind that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me, and entreat me to Ephron, the son of Zoor, that he may give me the cave of Kamala, which he had, which is in the end of his field. For as much money as it is worth, he shall give it me, for a possession of my burying place amongst you. And Ephron dwelt amongst the children of Heth. And Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the audience of the children of Heth, even of all that went in at the gates of his city, saying, Nay, my master, hear me. The field give I thee, and the cave that is therein I give it thee. And in the presence of the sons of my people give I it thee. Bury thy dead. And Abraham bowed down himself before the people of the land. And he spake unto Ephron in the audience of the people of the land, saying, But if thou wilt give it, I pray thee, hear me. I will give thee money for the field. Take it of me, and I will bury my dead there. Pay attention to the storyline. Pay attention to the story. Get it. If you don't, write something to say, hey, we don't get it right here, and I can just revisit it with you. And we can chop it up over Messenger and stuff, and we can just go over some things that you just really don't understand. All right, and this is just for the novices, the people that are novices, okay? This is the only time you're going to get some things that are read from the beginning to the end, and you got to understand these things. All right, like I told people, this is not a confrontational channel. This is studied and edifying. All right, and reading things from the beginning to the end that are not precept all the time. I do precept a lot, But I also read from the beginning to the end. All right. Verse 14, and Ephron answered Abraham, saying unto him, my master, hearken unto me. The land is wroth 400, the land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that betwixt me and thee? Bury therefore thy dead. All right. So what is that betwixt me and thee? This is how much it is. There's nothing else that, is between us. You pay that, you're good. And Abraham hearkened unto Ephron, and Abraham weighed to Ephron the silver, which he had named in the audience of the son of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, current money with the merchant. His money was good. Merchant accepted that. It was good. Verse 17. And the field of Ephron, which was in Machphlah, which was before Mamre, the field and the cave which was therein, and all the trees that was therein, and all the trees that were in the field, that were in all the borders round about, were made sure. Right? It's all his. Unto Abraham for a possession in the presence of the children of Heth, before all that went at the gates of his city. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machphlah, before Mamre. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. And the field and the cave is therein were made sure unto Abraham for a possession of a burying place by the sons of Heth. All right, and Kashra, the bar Yahweh, Anaya Shai, Nashemai. Other Yahweh said, what we doing here? All right. Okay, this is an important chapter. So when you go into chapter 24, these things are an example, okay, of how things should be. Because in the world of America, aka Babylon, aka Egypt, they do things with a wedding ring, and they do things certainly. But this is how we do it. Chapter 24 shows how you should really, how things should be done in a sense. Matter of fact, the whole law shows you how to sense when you meet a woman and how things should be done and everything else. And it gives you different understanding. Like some men can go off chapter 24 how they do things. Some men can go off Genesis. It just depends where. But the law ultimately trumps all. So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 24, starting at verse 1. And Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and Yahweh had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto the eldest servant of his house, that ruled over all that he had, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh. Because he was weak and old. He couldn't really grab his hand like this, so he was just laying there. He told him to put his hand under his thigh. And I will make thee swear by Yahweh, the power of heaven and the power of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife until my son of the daughters of the Canaanites amongst whom I dwell. That's why it's very important to listen to me in 23. I was showing you who were the Canaanites that he told you not to give your kids to. And it's very, very, very important that y'all know who Canaanites are. Just certain African nations. Because if you don't, like a lot of these brothers and these sisters going around marrying these people from Africa, not knowing if they Canaanites. But because they got melanin, they okay to them. That's what they doing. Because they got melanin. Oh, they are people. They're black people. No, we're not black. Sorry, we're brown. So if we're brown and they're brown, okay. If you're not brown, who are you? They're going to tell you who they are. Oh, okay, we're not the same people. But we become the same people when we start all calling each other black people. See, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. That is not true. Don't do that. All right. Okay, where did I stop? So let me go somewhere where a lot of people get messed up because they do it a lot. I need a bookmark. Bookmark. There we go. I got something. Keep this as a bookmark. So let's go to Deuteronomy 7 because a lot of people get this messed up, and I just want to give it to y'all real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 1. When the days of Yahweh thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, and hath cast out many nations before thee. Now it has a comma, comma. The Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Perizzites, and the Hittites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. Now, what you got to understand is give you an example of the nations they're talking about, but not all. Because watch this. When Yahweh thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, comma, and have cast out many nations before thee, comma. Let me give you an example in 1 Kings 11 and 1. Go to 1 Kings chapter 11 and verse 1. Oops, that's it. Now watch this. It's going to sound, damn, I can't. There's my page. All right. 1 Kings chapter 11 and verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughters. That why is the daughter of Pharaoh, those are Hamites, women of the Moabites, Chinese, Ammonites, Koreans, Edomites, so-called white people, Sidonians, so-called Egyptians, Hittites, South African nation, Canaanites, the Hittites are Canaanites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their powers, their powers, mention no other God, so I'm saying powers. Solomon clave unto these in love. And that's why, and I just want to say something. The scripture says make no mention of other gods. That's why when you see me like skip Lord, I would say Yahweh, or in some cases I would say Master. I would not mention the names of other gods because the Most High said make mention of no other gods. Okay, so I would take that into consideration what my power said to me and not do it. Okay, so and the Most High spake with Moses face to face. The Most High spoke face to face with Moses regarding this agreement, right? Exodus 34 and 10 to 17. Watch this. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 34, verse 10. And he said, behold, I make a covenant before all thy people. I will do marvelous, such as have not been done in all the earth, nor in any nations. And all the people amongst which thou art shall see the work of Yahweh, for it is a terrible thing I will do with thee. Observe thou that which I command thee this day. Behold, I drive out before thee the Amorite and the Canaanite and the Hittite and the Perizzite and the Hivite and the Jebusite. Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, whither thou goest, lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee. But if ye shall destroy their altars, break their images, and cut down their groves, right? You can look up sacred groves. For thou worship no other power. For Yahweh, whose name is jealous, is a jealous power. Lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their powers, and do sacrifice unto their powers, and one call you or text you, you know what I'm saying? One call you or text you, right? And thou eat of their sacrifices. That means you're going to go to their barbecue and eat of their sacrifices. That's what's going to happen. Hey, all praises, all praises. So the Most High spoke to Moses face to face with this. So when you go to back over here to First Kings, right? The example of Deuteronomy 7:1 I'm giving you, right? Which I went to Exodus 34, verse 10 to 17. Okay. First Kings 11:1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughters of Pharaoh, right? From Sidonians. It's the Sidonians right here. Pharaoh, today they're from Sudan. Sudan, they're Hamites. All right. Women of the Moabites, Chinese, Ammonites, Koreans, Edomites, white people, Sidonians, Egyptians, Hittites, South Africans, of the nations concerning which Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them. So let's just prove that into Deuteronomy 7 real quick. All right. Deuteronomy 7:1. When the Yahweh thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and has cast out many nations before thee. It sounded right, right? The Hittite and the Gershite and the Amorite and the Canaanite and the Perizzite and the Hivites and the Jebusite, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when Yahweh thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other powers. So will the anger of Yahweh be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. All right. Then it shows you how to deal with them. But I'm just going here because people miss that right here in Deuteronomy 7:1. When Yahweh thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, right? Before thee. And then it started to name some, because where they were going. So let me go back over here to Genesis real quick. Right. Now, and when he said in verse 3, and I will make thee swear by Yahweh thy power of heaven and the power of the earth, right? That thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites amongst whom I dwell. That's why. Right? But thou shalt go unto my country and to my kindred and take a wife unto my son Isaac. Right? Which is going to be in Genesis 22, verse 19 to 24. Rebecca. Right? And the servant said unto him, peradventure the woman will not be willing to follow me unto this man. Must I needs bring thy son again unto the land from whence thou camest? And Abraham said unto him, beware thou that thou bring not my son thither again. So if you take his, if you, he's not going to go with Abraham to Mesopotamia, where his people are from. All right, he's not gonna go over there. You know, Isaac's gonna be at home chilling and everything else. He's gonna be chilling, and this is gonna be it. Get a drink. A cayenne boy. So, so the servant is saying, "What if I go there and they don't want to? You know, the daughter don't want to come." He said, "Well, should I take him back there? No, don't take my son back there. We already went once. All right, that was it. So don't take the name back over there by the son want to marry. His son need a wife from right over there because Abraham said, "Go get my son a wife from over there." All right. So verse 4, but thou shalt go unto my country and to my kindred and take a wife unto my son Isaac. And the servant said unto him, peradventure the woman would not be willing to follow me unto this land. Must I needs bring thy son again unto the land from whence thou camest? And Abraham said unto him, beware thou that thou bring not my son thither again. Right? And Yahweh thy power, right? And Yahweh thy power of heaven, which took me from my father's house and from the land of my kindred, which spake unto me, and that swear unto me, saying, unto thy seed will I give this land, he shall send his angel before thee, and thou shalt take a wife unto my son from thence. You can go to chapter 12, verse 7. Let me see. This is Genesis chapter 12, verse 7. And Yahweh and the angel of Yahweh appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land. And there builded he an altar unto Yahweh, who appeared unto him. So, and removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west and Hai on the east. And there he built an altar unto Yahweh, and called upon the name of Yahweh. Right? That's not what I wanted. Skip that. All right. So Genesis 24, verse 6. And Abraham said unto him, beware thou that thou bring not my son thither again. Right? And Yahweh thy power of heaven, which took me from my father's house and from the land of my kindred, and which spake unto me, and that swear unto me, saying, unto thy seed will I give this land. Right? And shall send his angel before thee, and thou shalt take a wife unto my son from thence. Right? So, in verse 8, and if the woman will not be willing to follow thee, then thou shalt be clear from this my oath. Only bring not my son thither again. And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham, his master, and swore to him concerning that matter. And the servant took 10 camels of the camels of his master and departed, for all the goods of his master were in his hand. And he arose and went to Mesopotamia, right, unto the city of Noor, and made his camels to kneel down without the city by a well of water. At the time of the evening, even the time that women go out to draw water. And he said, O Yahweh, thy power. O Yahweh, power of my master Abraham, I pray thee, send me good speed this day, and shew kindness unto my servant and unto my master Abraham. Behold, I stand here by the well of water, and the daughters of the men of the city come out to draw water. And let it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down thy pitcher, that's what he's going to say to her, let down thy pitcher, I pray thee, that I may drink. And she shall say, drink, and I will give thy camels drink also. And that's what he's saying to the Most High to tell her to say. You see how powerful the Most High is, man. Right? And she shall say, drink, and I will give thy camels drink also. Let the same be she that thou hast appointed for thy servant Isaac, and thereby shall I know that thou hast shewed kindness unto my master. And it came to pass before he had done speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel in Genesis 22 and verse 19 to 24. Right? And it came to pass before he had done speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulders. Now, this law he didn't change. Now, Abraham and Sarah were brother and sister, like, but not from the same mother. And that's how the Most High used to do it. So, like, the father would have another wife, and this wife over here, you know, the daughter from here and the son over here, he would marry them. And that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? With Sarah and Abraham. But the Most High changed that law. But this law right here, him going to his cousin, this law is still in effect. And that's why America likes to demonize the scriptures, talking about kissing cousins and all that stuff. But that works when you do that, because in the families, everybody's amongst each other, and everybody's learning, and the brothers keep everybody together, which is a bad thing. They only want to kill the family unit. All right, so-called white men wants to kill the family unit, and they have successfully done so. But Yahweh has came in and repaired the family unit. Okay. All right, verse 16. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man known her. And she went down to the well and filled her pitcher and came up. And the servant ran to meet her and said, let me, I pray thee, drink a little water of thy pitcher. And she said, drink, my master. And she hasted and let down her pitcher upon her hand and gave him drink. And when she had done giving him drink, she said, I will draw water for thy camels also until they have done drinking. Ha ha! Yahweh boy, he working. And she hasted and emptied her pitcher into the trough and ran again unto the well to draw water and draw for all his camels. And the man, wondering at her, held his peace to wit, because he was in shock. That happened fast. And good speed the Most High works, whether the Yahweh had made his journey prosperous or not. And it came to pass, as the camels had done drinking, that the man took a golden earrings, right? A half a shekel weight, and two bracelets for her hands. Earrings and bracelets for her hands, and 10 shekel weight of gold, and said, whose daughter art thou? Tell me, I pray thee, is there room in thy father's house for us to lodge in? I pay attention to this, man. And she said unto him, I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, right? Which she bare unto Nahor. She said, moreover unto him, we have both straw and provender, enough and room to lodge in. And the man bowed down his head and worshiped Yahweh. And he said, blessed be Yahweh, power of my master Abraham, who have not left destitute my master of his mercy and his truth. I being in the way, Yahweh led me to the house of my master's brethren. That was tight. And the damsel ran and told them of her mother's house those things. And Rebekah had a brother, and his name was Laban. And Laban ran out unto the man, unto the well. And it came to pass when he saw the earring and braced it upon his sister's hand, and when he heard the words of Rebekah his sister, saying, Thus spake the man unto me, that he came unto the man. Hold on. Thus spake the man unto me, that he came unto the man. And behold, so Laban came unto him, of basically what his sister told Laban, and the neighbors coming unto him. And behold, he stood by the camels at the well. And he said, Come in, thou blessed of Yahweh. Wherefore standest thou without? For I have prepared the house and room for the camels. And the man came in, and the man came into the house. And he ungirded his camels, and gave straw and provender for the camels, and water to wash his feet, and the men's feet that were with him. And there was set meat before him, and to eat. But he said, I would not eat until I have told my errand. And he said, Speak on. Laban was like, Speak on. And he said, I am Abraham's servant, and Yahweh hath blessed my master greatly, and he is become great. And he hath given him flocks and herds and silver and gold, and men servants and maid servants and camels and asses. And Sarah, my master's wife, bare a son to my master when she was old, and unto him hath he given all that he hath. And my master made me swear, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife to my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I dwell, but thou shalt go unto my father's house, and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son. And I said unto my master, Peradventure the woman would not follow me. And he said unto me, Yahweh, before whom I walk, will send his angel with thee. That's what Isaac told me. Abraham told him. And thou shalt take a wife, right? Thou shalt take a wife for my son of my kindred and of my father's house. Then shalt thou be clear from this my oath, when thou comest to my kindred, and if they give not thee, one, a wife on, thou shalt be clear from my oath. And I came this day unto the well and said, O Yahweh, power of my master Abraham, if now thou do prosperous my way, which I go, behold, I stand by the well of water, and it shall come to pass that when the virgin cometh forth to draw water, and I say to her, give me, I pray thee, a little water of thy pitcher to drink. And she say to me, both drink thou, and I will also draw for thy camels. Let the same be the woman whom Yahweh hath appointed out for my master's son, which is Rebekah. And before I had done speaking in my heart, showing you where the heart is, speaking in my heart, right? Verse 45, and before I had done speaking in mine heart, I gotta write this down. I had those bridges, baby. And before I had done speaking in my heart, behold, Rebekah came forth with her pitcher on her shoulder, and she went down unto the well and drew water. And I said unto her, Let me drink, I pray thee. And she made haste and let down her pitcher from her shoulder, and said, Drink, and I will give thy camels drink also. So I drank, and she made the camels drink also. And I asked her, said, Whose daughter art thou? And she said, The daughter of Bethuel, Naor's son, whom Milcah bare unto him. And I put the earring upon her face, and the bracelets upon her hands. And I bowed down my head and worshiped Yahweh, and blessed Yahweh, power of my master, Abraham, who had led me in the right way to take my master's brother's daughter unto his son. Right? And now, if you will deal kindly and truly with my master, tell me. And if not, tell me, that I may turn to the right hand or to the left. Then Laban and Bethuel answered and said, the thing proceedeth from Yahweh. We cannot speak unto thee bad or good. Behold, Rebekah is before thee. Take her and go, and let her be thy master's son's wife, as Yahweh hath spoken. So Yahweh leads a man findeth a good wife. Yahweh leads you to that, man. And it came to pass that when Abraham's servant heard the words, he worshipped Yahweh, bowing himself to the earth. And the servant brought forth jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment. He gave them to Rebekah. He gave also to her brother and to her mother precious things. And they did eat and drink, he and the men that were with him, and tarried all night. And they rose up in the morning, and he said, send me away unto my master. And her brother and her mother said, let the damsel abide with us a few days, at the least 10. After that, she shall go. Now they might, I don't know, man. That they just really having second thoughts about it. Most High, what the Most High wants to happen. That's the second thoughts, man. And he said unto them, hinder me not, seeing Yahweh hath prospered my way. Send me away, that I may go to my master. And they said, we will call the damsel and inquire at her mouth. And they called Rebekah and said unto her, wilt thou go with this man? And she said, I will go. And they sent away Rebekah, their sister, and her nurse, and Abraham's servant, and his men. And they blessed Rebekah and said unto her, thou art our sister. Be thou the mother of thousands of millions. And let thy seed possess the gate of those which hate them. Die, be dead. And Rebekah rose and her damsels, or the one, and they rode upon the camels and followed the man. And the servant took Rebekah and went his way. And Isaac came from the way of the well, Lo Iroi, for he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the eventide, and he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels were coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel. For she had said unto the servant, what man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, it is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. And the servant told Isaac all things that he had done. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. Isaac was comforted after his mother's death with a wife. He was comforted with the wife. You know what? In the space of his mom. Not the sexual part, but the nurturing part that woman gives a man. He was comforted. You know what I'm saying? Cool, he got a wife. Woman that loves him and help, and she's a helpmeet to take care. His mom was a help to the father, helping the son do everything else. So, that wife is what I'm saying, feels in the space of the mother, but in a more better way to that man. All right, so that's the end of the Ka Shara, Debar Yahweh, Anai Shawa Nashemai. All that Yahweh said, what we do it here. Okay. So now we're going to the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 3. We're going to end up at Matthew 5 and 48. All right, we're going to start at Matthew chapter 3, verse 1. All right. Okay, here we go. Um, all right, Matthew chapter 3, verse 1. In those days came John the Baptist, preaching in the wilderness of Judea, and saying, Repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. For this is he that was spoken of by the prophet Isaiah, saying, The voice of one crying in the wilderness, Prepare ye the way of Yahweh, make his path straight. And the same John had his raiment of camel's hair, and the leathern girdle about his loins, and his meat was locust and wild honey. So he's a vegetarian. Then went out to him Jerusalem and all Judea and all the region round about Jordan, and were baptized of him in Jordan, confessing their sins. But when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come to his baptism, he said unto them, O generation of vipers, who hath warned you to flee from the wrath to come? Bring forth, therefore, fruits meet for repentance. He said, hey, what are y'all doing? Bring forth fruit, right? Brothers and sisters, meet for repentance. They're worthy of repentance. And think not to say within yourself, we have Abraham to our fathers. So I guess that's something they used to say back in the day. Let me say this, we got Abraham, our father, we get. You know what I'm saying? For I say unto you that Yahweh is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham. From dust we come, from dust we shall return. All right. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Therefore, every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. I indeed baptize you with water unto repentance. I indeed baptize you with water. Water is the wisdom, understanding, and knowledge unto repentance. Right? So that's when you have people in your congregation, you're teaching them. All right? And you learn, and then you baptize them. It's symbolic. The waters are symbolic. You got the word, you got the water, which is the word, you know what I'm saying? And you're baptizing them in symbolically water, like you're baptizing them in the word. Okay? Indeed, baptize you with water unto repentance, but he that cometh after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear. He shall baptize you with the Holy Ghost and with fire, whose fan is in the hand, and he will thoroughly purge his floor and gather his wheat into the garner, but will burn up the chaff with unquenchable fire. Those are those that just not worthy. You want to burn you, throw you into the fire. Okay? 13, verse 13. Then cometh Yahushua and Mashiach from Galilee to Jordan unto John to be baptized of him. So symbolically, he's been baptized with the words of his father. Now he's going to be symbolically baptized with the water. Right? Then cometh Yahushua and Mashiach from Galilee to Jordan unto John to be baptized of him. But John forbid him, saying, I have need to be baptized of thee, and comest thou to me? And Yahushua Mashiach answering said unto him, Suffer it not to be so now, for thus it becometh us to fulfill all righteousness. All right? And then Yahushua Mashiach, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water. And lo, the heavens were opened unto him. And he saw the Spirit of Yahweh descending like a dove, right? Descending. Descending, moving or slopping downward. Okay, descending, right? Moving or slopping downward, moving down a scale of quality, moving down a scale of quality. Let's go to descend. Now, descending, descend, move or fall downward, coming down to him, right? Go down, come down, drop. Verse 16, book of Matthew, chapter 3, verse 16. And Yahushua, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water. He came out of the water, and lo, the heavens were opened unto him, and he saw the Spirit of Yahweh descending like a dove, right? And lighting upon him. And lighting upon him, right? That's the thing. He had this, he was born with the Holy Spirit. And it's telling you right there. And lo, a voice from heaven saying, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased, right? The first time the Most High said this. Hey, let's go to verse 4, right? See, Let me go to Hebrews 4:15. Hebrews 4:15. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. He was tempted just like us. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, something that we don't deserve, that we may obtain mercy, something we don't deserve, right? And find grace to help in time of need, right? Boldly come to grace, man. Go out there and sacrifice your life. Get this word out. Sacrifice. All right? That's what we must do. Fuck what they gotta say, man. Do what you gotta do. They're gonna do to you regardless of what we do, no matter what. So we might as well do what the most high say, and that's it. That's it. All right. Matthew chapter 4, verse 1. Then was Yahweh led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of Hashatan, a Shaitan, right? Of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward in hunger. While he was fasting, he was tempted, right? And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the son of Yahweh, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh. What he's doing, Yahweh Shai is showing you. When you're around evil, you got to use the law to get out of it. He's giving you a prime example of when you in those times, use the law to get out of it. The law should be in your heart, right? In front of your face. And things are going on, use the law to get out of it. Use the law. Okay? So where did Yahweh get that from? Deuteronomy 8:3. And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not. Neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doeth not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh doeth man live. So when you got to understand this is how you live. When you're around things, you got to know the law to get out of it. Now I'm not supposed to be doing that. The Most High said, man liveth by every word that proceedeth out of his mouth. But man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh. How Yahweh tells you to live, that's how you live. There's no mistakes. There's nothing that you should be talking about that you should not be doing that Yahweh said that you should not be doing. Okay, whatever how I just said that is messed up. My bad. But you live by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yahweh. That's how you live. Okay, Matthew chapter 4, verse 5. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple. Right? Let's see something real quick. Of the pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, if thou be the son of Yahweh, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. Yahweh said unto him, it is written, again, thou shalt not tempt Yahweh thy power. Don't tempt him. Don't see if what he's saying is right and go try to dash yourself down and try to kill yourself. Now you tempting the Lord, man. Don't be doing that. You're trying to see if the Most High is a lie or not. The Most High is not as a man that he should not lie. Believe that. And go ahead and try to dash yourself down. He's going to let you fall. Don't tempt him. Man, you know what you're doing. Let him die. He don't believe in me. But if you was in trouble and something happened, and you believe in the Most High, and you're in righteous, you doing things right, and evil's following you, and something happened, like what was that? Paul them fell out of the window and didn't live. Yeah, man. Hey, verse 8. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and sheweth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then said Yahushua unto him, get thee thence, Shaitan, for it is written, thou shalt worship Yahweh thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. And that's what happens when everybody try to get you to follow. And we got a law in here, man, that if somebody come to you and tell you to follow another power, come on, man, and you don't even do that. You don't even do that. Man. Then saith Yahushua unto him, get thee thence, Shaitan, for it is written, thou shalt worship Yahweh thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. Now when Yahushua had heard that John was cast into prison, he departed into Galilee. And leaving Nazareth, he came and dwelt in Capernaum, which is upon the sea coast, in the borders of Zebulun and Naphtali, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali by the way of the sea beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. The people which sat in darkness saw great light. And to them which sat in the region and shadow of death, light is sprung upon them. Right? You can go to Luke, telling who was going before. You can go to Hosea 2 and 23, right? From the time Yahushua began to preach and to say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Same thing John said to him in chapter 3. And Yahushua, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw two brethren, Simon called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers. And he saith unto them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. And they straightway left their nets and followed him. And going on from thence, he saw other two brethren, James the son of Zebedee, and John his brother, in a ship with Zebedee, their father, mending their nets. And he called them. And they immediately left the ship, and their father followed him. And Yahushua went about Galilee, teaching in their synagogues, and preaching the gospel, the good news. Gospel means good news of the kingdom, and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of diseases among the people. And his fame went throughout all Syria, and they brought unto him all sick people that were taken with diverse diseases and torments, and those which were possessed with devils, and those which were lunatic, and those that had the palsy, and had healed them. And there followed him great multitudes of people, right? From Galilee and from Decapolis and from Jerusalem and from Judea and from beyond Jordan. Man, let's see. I got precepts. Now, something that needs to be understood: the land of Zebulun and Naphtali was called the land of Gentiles. In 15, watch this. Uh, Matthew chapter 4, verse 15, the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali by the way of the sea beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. So when the New Testament is talking about the Gentiles, it's talking about the northern kingdom. That proves it right there with precept, right? All right. I'm going to go to Deuteronomy 31 and 28. Deuteronomy 31 and 28. It says, gather unto me all the elders of your tribes and your officers, that I may speak these words in their ears, and call heaven and earth to record against them. For I know that after my death you will corrupt yourselves and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you. And evil will befall you in the latter days, because ye will do evil in the sight of Yahweh to provoke him to anger, though the work of your through the work of your hands. So this is who he's talking to Israel, right? So when you go over to Hosea chapter 2, verse 25, Hosea chapter 2, verse 23. And I will sow her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. And I will say to them which were not my people, thou art my people. And they shall say, thou art my power. And it says over here, right here, verse 1. Um, Hosea chapter 1 and verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered, cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was once said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel, two tribes, be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for a great shall be the day of Israel. So this is future prophecy right here that I'm going over. But it was just to show you that when it said right here in Matthew chapter 4, verse 15, the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali by the way of the sea beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles, because Israel went off. And that's why I said in Matthew 4 and 16, the people which sat in darkness saw great light, which was Yahushua Mashiach. And to them which sat in the region and sat in the region in shadow of death, light is sprung up. What is light? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. Law is sprung up. But who is the law of the land? Who is the light that came to give him the law? And reproof instructions are the way of life, right? Let's go over here to the book of Let's see. Okay, John chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, which was Yahweh Shai, and the Word was with power, right? Which was Yahweh. And the Word was power, right? The Word was power, which he was the Word. The same was in the beginning with power. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. See what I mean? So when you go to Matthew 4 and 16, the people which sat in darkness saw great light. They saw Yahweh Shah Mashiach and the law. And to them which sat in the regions of the shadow of death, light is sprung up. So when you go to, sorry about that, First Maccabees, why they needed the light? Because in the Maccabees, man, we couldn't even keep the law. Um, this is First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, a democracy, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judea that they should follow the strange laws of the land and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, the feast days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, right? It's unsexual, dirty acts, right? To the end they might forget the law and change all ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. In the self same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom and appointed overseers over all the people like cops to make sure they didn't keep the law, commanding the cities of Judea to sacrifice city by city. Watch this. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land. 52, I'll read it again. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even whosoever could flee for succor. Right? Let me see. Let's go to scripture 57 and watch this. And that's why it was in darkness. In 57. And whosoever was found with any, the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should be put to death. Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month. And this is what you got to understand. When they start reading that Talmud, they don't go based about the law. They swear by the Talmud. That's how you tell that's not the Most High people. The Most High people are going to be keeping the law, right? Verse 58. First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 58. Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month. They killed us every month. To as many as were found in the cities, now the 25th day of the month, 25th of the month, right? They did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of Yahweh, at which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. And they hanged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them. So when you go over here to the book of Matthew, in Matthew 4 and 16, the people which sat in darkness, because this is the Roman Empire. I was reading in Maccabees in the Greek Empire. The people which sat in darkness saw great light, the law. And when you go to John 1, the light, the word became light. And to them which sat in the region and shadow of death, light is sprung up. From the time of Yahweh I begin to preach and to say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Because now that we're in a Roman captivity, we already were Hellenized in the Grecian captivity, and nobody was keeping the law. So when you read that right there, the people which sat in darkness, Matthew 4 and 16, you can start at verse 15. The land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali by the way of the sea beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. It was the northern kingdom. The people which sat in darkness saw great light. Because when we was in a Grecian captivity, it was unlawful for us to keep our law. It was against the law for us to keep our laws. The people which sat in darkness saw great light, and to them which sat in the region and shadow of death, light is sprung up. Proverbs 6 and 23. The light is the law. First John, Yahweh Shai is that light, which shineth in darkness, and darkness comprehended it not. That's the ignorance. You're in ignorance. All right? So let me go over here to Matthew chapter 5 now. So the scriptures say in the law, revile not the gods, the powers to be, people that are over you, the officers, captains, generals. You know what I'm saying? You can't rival us. That's against the law to rival us. The rival in the Greek in Strong's G3679 means upbraid, reproach, find fault with some. One, rebuke, chastise. You can't be chastising us. You gotta. It's a ranking system. It's how you do things. We don't work like that. You can't just come against us and start murmuring. That's why the Most High put a lot of people to death for murmuring against the higher ups. All right. Matthew chapter 5, verse 1. And seeing the multitudes, he went up into the mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came unto him, and he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. The poor is Israel, period. Even if you got money or not, you're the poor. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see Yahweh. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of Yahweh. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you, right? Reproach you, correct you, and criticize you, chastise you, and everything else. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Like, man, he believe in that over. We don't believe in that nigga. Ain't know what he talking about. I'm blessed. Thank you. You're just proving prophecy. Verse 12. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Ye are the salt of the earth. Talking about the prophets. Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost his Savior, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. As prophets, as men, we're the light of the world, the law of the world. We teach the world the law. We teach you the law. Right? Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. So we don't hide the law. We give you the law. And people be like, man, y'all so rude. No, we're not. We're rude but well in knowledge, man. But do I offend you? No. If I'm not offending you, shut up. Because I say my bad if I offend you, but I'm not offending you. You're just hurt because I said it like that. So what? Why don't you stop being so damn sensitive? Verse 15, neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So let people see your good works. Not you doing good for everybody, man, keeping the law. Showing them that you're keeping the law. Yes, we feed the poor. Yeah, we try to do good, but the scripture says over here, let me get that real quick. This is for people who think they should, do that Christian stuff. They think they're supposed to just do good to everybody, man. Damn Christians get on my nerves sometimes. That Christian mindset, you may get out of the church, but you still got a Christian mindset. You sicken me. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 1. When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it. So shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits. Do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense. And if not from him, yet from the Most High Yahweh. There can be no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, or her, nor to him that giveth no alms. Give to the godly man, and help not a sinner. So know who you do good to. If you don't know who you're doing good to, it's telling you right here, the godly man, the godly woman, they keep the law. If they don't, leave their ass alone. Verse 4, give to the godly man. This is in Ecclesiasticus 12. I'm on verse 4 now. I'm on verse 12. No, Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 4. Give to the godly man, and help not a sinner. Do well unto him that is lowly, that is humble. But give not to the ungodly, person that exalts themselves, unrighteous. They're just an unrighteous person. Don't do good to them. Ungodly is unrighteous. Hold back thy bread, and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby. For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him. For the Most High hateth sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, the unrighteous, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. Verse 7, give unto the good, and help not a sinner. He's saying it again, right? A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. In prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart. Let them be going through some shit. They're going to disappear. You say what type of friends they are. Let me get back to the scriptures. All right, Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. Let your light so shine before men, your law. You keeping the law. Fringes on your dress, fringes on your shirt, fellas, fringes on your shirt, your garments. Let people see you keep the law. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Yahweh Shai, this is in red. He did not come to destroy the law, nor did he come to destroy the prophets. For verily I say unto you, to heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. All right? Till all be fulfilled. What did he fulfill? What did Yahweh Shai fulfill? Let's see. Mhm. Let's go to Acts 3 and 18 real quick. See what he fulfilled. Acts chapter 3 and verse 18. Acts chapter 3 and verse 18. But those things which Yahweh before had shewed by the mouth of all his prophets, that Hamashiach Christ should suffer, he had so fulfilled. That he should suffer, he had so fulfilled. So what did he get for fulfilling that prophecy and that job that the Most High gave him? Let's go to 1 Maccabees 2 and 55. First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 55. Hamashiach, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel. So I gotta find this precept. Let's go to Book of Revelations, chapter 19 and verse 11, and it reads, And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. That's what he's doing right now. He's judging and making war. That's what he's doing. All right, Matthew chapter 5, verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. Ye have heard that it was said, the Pharisees, they're like big hypocrites. They like to tell you to do things, but they won't do it. That's why I like to make sure I do things I tell people to do that I've already done that I would do. All right, I'm just not going to tell you to do these things, and I'm not going to do it. Okay, I've done them before. You got to do it too. Come. All right. Verse 20. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of Yahweh, kingdom of heaven. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. You mean thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not murder. There's righteous kills. Like if you slept with my wife, I have the right to mock you out of here, okay? But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause, that's malice, shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakha, shall be in danger of the councils. What's Rakha? I know I wrote that down somewhere. I didn't, but let's see what's going on. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakha, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, Thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Fool is a person that don't keep the law. And he's just raising a false witness. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. All right? Verse 25. Agree with thine adversary quickly while thou art in the way with him, lest at any time thy adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. So you get pulled over by the babbies. You know what I'm saying? You get pulled over by the babbies. What you gonna do, man? Just quickly agree and give me a license and registration, man. Be done with it. You know what I'm saying? They don't talk shit like F you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, now I quickly agree with him, man. All right, yeah, what's up, man? We just trying to get this word out. We already know the devil gonna come along and try to stop this truth, man. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. All right. Verse 26. Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence till thou hast paid the utmost farthing. Your bill is high, brother. Ye have heard that it was once, so like ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. And I was talking to a sister about this. We might end up getting into the courtship, and I was telling her about the nakedness of a woman, and she was saying, "Well, we should be able to wear what we want to, and the man shouldn't have to look at us like that." That is stupid. That is the most hilarious, stupidest thing I've heard. That's crazy. Like let's say we in a restaurant, right? And this sister over there is wearing provocative clothing. How many women we know are gonna get mad for looking at that sister? Tell me. They gonna get mad, huh? Yeah, we know they are. We know they are. It's stupid to say that, hey, that woman should be bothering you if she's wearing something that's very provocative. She's showing her breast. Only thing that's covered is her nipples. But her breast and everything is shown. Man, get out of here. The Most High gonna burn them. Most High gonna melt you. That's what he said. I will melt you. Most High is not playing with y'all, man. And this feminist movement that's rising back up with sisters, the Most High is going to melt you. When you ain't got no help, no men to protect you, men are not about to protect y'all like that no more, man. Y'all gonna be on your own. And then y'all gonna see that the things that you doing is off. Because brothers is not going to protect you like that no more. Your daddy and your brothers and them ain't going to be around you. They're going to be with their families. Just saying, man. Verse 28, but I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. That means you're thinking about her, man. It's like, damn, man. Why tear that up? You already committed adultery, brother. And why she could have a husband and you don't know. Verse 29. And if thy right eye offend thee, is going into, you know what I'm saying? So they're looking at a woman. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out. What's causing you to do that, bro? Get it out of here. Fast that out. Get it out. And cast it from thee. For it is profitable that thee, so it's profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. And if thy right hand offend thee, it's going to cause you to do something. What you going to do with that right hand? What is your works? And if thy right hand offend thee, right, cut it off and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not thy whole body should be cast into hell. It hath been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. Now it's going into whoever put away his wife. Let him give her a writing of divorcement. But I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery, and whosoever shall marry her that is divorced committeth adultery. So, best thing to do is fast from each other. You know, you can do it David. Just don't mess with her no more. You know what I'm saying? You can do it David. But all these things is going into hand. What's fornication? A lot of things are fornication. If she's listening to another man, that's fornication. Hey, if he that have an ear, let him hear. But I say get some counsel on that. You can't just put your wife away just for anything at all. I mean, just you gotta make sure. That's why you get counsel. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of y'all just want to just put them away like that. Y'all don't even have counsel or nothing. Verse 33, again, ye have heard that it hath been said by them of old time, thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto Yahweh thine oaths. Don't be swearing on yourself. I swear on my head. Don't do that. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is Yahweh's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Neither shalt thou swear by thy head, because thou canst not make one hair white or black. But let your communication be yea, yea. Nay, if it's nay, then it's no. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil. Ye have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil. But I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. So you do resist evil. So there's a typo in here. But I say unto you that ye resist not evil. Yeah, you got to resist evil. And if any man will sue thee at the law and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also. And whosoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him twain. Right? You see? Yeah, verse 42. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away. Ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemies. Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. That's Leviticus 19 and 12. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. This is talking about of your own people. All right, go to Leviticus 19 and 12 and read on that. All right, verse 44. But I say unto you, I already said that, verse 45, but ye may be, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. So these are your people, man, not people outside of your nation. You know, you show yourself friendly to everybody but your people. This is compassion. This is compassion. Okay? Having compassion on your brothers. and on your sisters. Compassion. So to the women that are in polygynous relationships or want to, love your sister, man. That's your sister. You're not supposed to hate her. You're not supposed to not want to do things, but Most High gonna melt your tail. He gonna melt you. So you can look mad all you want to. I ain't doing that. Watch. Because the man you want might just not mess with you. And this is nothing personal because a lot of women do this. I'm sorry, 44. No, 43. Ye have heard that it hath been said that thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemies. Leviticus 19 and 12. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. Right? That ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same? If you just love the people only that loves you, but you hated everybody else, like, come on, man. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same? And if ye salute your brethren only, what do you more than others? Do not even the publicans so? Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father, which is in heaven, is perfect. You can go to Deuteronomy 13 and 4 for that right there. But we're going to move on to the Maccabees. Let me turn on this. Hold on, we want to go to, I'm going to turn the Maccabees first. We're going to first Maccabees 15 and 1, and we're going to end at second Maccabees 1, chapter 1, verse 36. First Maccabees 15. And Maccabees has been a truly eye-opener about a lot of things, man. I got this book that I'm reading too. It's called White Rage. Give me a sec. All right, I'm back. I'm taking a sip of my powerful tea right here. All right. The book of First Maccabees, chapter 15 and verse 1. Moreover, Antiochus, son of Demetrius, this was another Antiochus, son of Demetrius. All right. The king's letters from the isles of the sea unto Simon the priest. Right? Jonathan had passed away. Now is Jonathan. Now is Simon. Unto Simon the priest and prince of the Jews, and to all the people. The contents whereof were these. King Antiochus, these are the letters, right? King Antiochus to Simon, the high priest and prince of his nation, and to the people of the Jews, greeting. For as much as a certain pestilent men have usurped the kingdom of our father, and my purpose is to change it again, that I may restore it to the old estate, and to that end have gathered a multitude of foreign soldiers together, and prepared ships of war. Let's look that up real quick. Look that word. Foreign. A person who owns or manages an entertainment, a stall at a fair, etc. So let's see, we put this together. And I may restore it to the old estate, and to the end have gathered a multitude of foreign soldiers. Right? People who are foreign soldiers together. We'll get back to it. And prepare ships of war. My meaning also being to go through the country, that I may be avenged of them that have destroyed it, and made many cities in the kingdom desolate. Now therefore I confirm unto thee all the oblations which the king before me granted thee, and whatsoever gifts beside they granted. So basically he's saying, I'm gonna give you the same thing the other kings gave unto you. I'm gonna grant that as well. I give thee leave also to coin money for thy country with thine own stamp. And as concerning Jerusalem and the sanctuary, let them be free, and all the armor that thou hast made, and fortress that thou hast built, and keepest in thy hands, let them remain unto thee. But basically, you don't have to pay no taxes. He's trying to really, go by what, the other fathers, Antiochus, Philip the Macedonian, Alexander the Greek, and them did to us, saying, I released this. This is Demetrius and the same Greeks. All right. Verse 6, I give thee leave also to coin money for thy country with thine own stamp. And as concerning Jerusalem and the sanctuary, let them be free, and all the armor that thou hast made, and fortress that thou hast built, and keepest in thy hands, let them remain unto thee. And if anything be or shall be owing to the king, let it be forgiven thee from this time forth forevermore. So you don't owe us anything. Furthermore, when we obtained our kingdom, when we have obtained our kingdom, ye will honor thee, right? And thy nation, and thy temple with great honor, so that your honor shall be known throughout the world. In the 114 year, went Antiochus into the land of his fathers, at which time all the forces came together unto him, and that few were left with Tryphon. Wherefore, remember, Tryphon killed Jonathan and set him up. Wherefore, being pursued by King Antiochus, he fled unto Dora, which lighteth by the seaside, for he saw that troubles came upon him all at once, and that his forces had forsaken him. All right, there's people back down there like, man, I saw all those people. Verse 13. Then camped Antiochus against Dora, having with him 120,000 men of war. Watch this. And 8,000 horsemen. And when he had compassed the city round about and joined ships close to the town on the seaside, he vexed the city by land and by sea. Neither suffered he any to go out or in. In the mean season came Numenius and his company from Rome, having letters to the king and countries wherein we were written these things. Lucius, consul of the Romans, king of Ptolemy, greeting. Verse 16, Lucius, consul of the Romans, unto King Ptolemy, greetings. The Jews' ambassadors, our friends and confederates, came unto us to renew the old friendship and league, being sent from Simon the high priest and from the people of the Jews. He's talking to Antiochus and them. And they bought a shield of gold, 1,000 pounds. So let me prove this real quick. All right, so the kings of Rome are sending letters to him, telling him about their league, like basically saying, "Hey, bro, you know what's going on over there. This is what you're not going to do." All right. So in verse 16, Lucius, consul of the Romans, unto King Ptolemy, greeting. The Jews' ambassadors, our friends and confederate, came unto us to renew an old friendship and league, being sent from Simon the high priest and from the people of the Jews. And they bought a shield of gold of 1,000 pounds. We thought it good, therefore, to write unto the king and countries that they should do them no harm, nor fight against them, nor cities or countries, nor yet aid their enemies against them. It seemed also good to us to receive the shield of them. If therefore there be any pestilent fellows that have fled from their country unto you, deliver them into Simon the high priest, that he may punish them according to their own law. The same thing wrote he likewise unto Demetrius the king, and Attalus, and Areatus, and Arechas, and to all the countries, and to the same, and to the Samphases, whatever, and the Lycedonians, and the Delos, and Mindus, and Sicyon, and Syria, and Samos, and Pamphylia, and Lycia, and Halicarnassus, and Rhodas, and Phasaelus, and Cos, and Sidee, and Ardus, and Gortina, and Cinetus, and Cyprus, and Cyrene, and the copy hereof they wrote to Simon the high priest. After all those people, okay? So Antiochus the king camped against Dora the second day, assaulting it continually, and making engines by which means he shut up Tryphon, that he could neither go out nor in. And that time Simon sent him 2,000 chosen men to aid him, silver also and gold, and much armor. Nevertheless, he would not receive them, but break all the covenants which he had made with him afore, and became strange unto him. Spirit change now. You know, I don't need nothing from you, bruh. Need nothing from you, bruh. That's what he's saying. Spirit change. Never trust thine enemies. And furthermore, he sent unto him Anthinibus, one of his friends, to commune with him and say, you withhold Joppa and Gazara with the tower that is in Jerusalem, which are cities of my realm. The borders thereof ye have wasted and done great hurt in the land, and got the dominion of many places within my kingdom. Now therefore deliver the cities which ye have taken, and the tributes of the places whereof ye have gotten dominion without the borders of Judea. Or else give me for them 500 talents of silver, and for the harm that you have done, and the tributes of the cities, other 500 talents. If not, we will come and fight against you. So Anthinobus, the king's friend, came to Jerusalem, and when he saw the glory of Simon, and the cupboard of gold and silver plate, and his great attendants, he was astonished, and told him the king's message. Then answered Simon and said unto him, we have neither taken other men's land nor holden that which appertaineth to others, but the inheritance of our fathers, which our enemies had wrongfully in possession a certain time. Wherefore we have an opportunity to hold the inheritance of our fathers. And whereas thou demandest Joppa and Gazra, albeit they did great harm unto the people in our country, yet will we give 100 talents for them hereunto. And Thuribus answered him not a word, because he was already shocked seeing us like that. They ain't never seen us in that much order. Everybody was in order. Everybody was in order. We had our, like, you see the brothers in the NFL? Those are our warriors right there. So imagine our 6'9", 300-pound brothers yoked up in armor, sitting there in their spears, and he walking down that line, bro. He was shook. He was shook. Hmm. Verse 36, but returned in a rage to the king, and made report unto him of these speeches, and of the glory of Simon, and of all that he had. Whereupon the king was exceeding wroth. He wanted our land that Antiochus and them and Philip the Macedonian and them had conquered us for. He wanted our land. He's saying that that's their land. Man, smack out of that fool, man. Verse 37, in the meantime fled Tryphon by ship unto Orthosis. Then the king made Sinabus captain of the seacoast, and gave him a host of footmen and horsemen, and commanded him to remove his host toward Judea. Also, he commanded him to build in Cedron, and to fortify the gates, and to war against the people. But as for the king himself, he pursued Tryphon. Senedibus came to these words, man, Imnea, and began to provoke the people, and to invade Judea, and to take the people prisoners and slay them. And when he had built up Sidron, he set horsemen there. See, they were sent there to do that. That didn't happen. And when he had hold on. So he did. Verse 40, and Sendibus came to Armenia and began to provoke the people and to invade Judea and to take the people prisoners and slay them. And when he had built up Sidron, he set horsemen there and an host of footmen, to the end that issuing out they might make outtrods upon the ways of Judea as the king had commanded him. Now we're going to 16. Then came up John from Gazra and told Simon his father what Maccabees had done. Sennacherib had done. Wherefore Simon called his two eldest sons, Judas and John, and said unto them, I and my brethren and my father's house have ever from our youth unto this day fought against the enemies of Israel. And things have prospered so well in our hands that we have delivered Israel oftentimes. But now I am old, and ye by Yahweh's mercy are of sufficient age. Be ye instead of me and my brother, and go and fight for our nation, and the help from heaven be with you. So he chose out of the country 20,000 men of war with horsemen, who went out against Sendebius, and rested that night in Modin. And when as they rose in the morning and went into the plain, behold, a mighty great host, both of footmen and horsemen, came against them. Howbeit there was a water brook betwixt them. So he and his people pitched over against them. And when he saw that the people were afraid to go over the water brook, he went first over himself. And then the men, seeing him, passed through after him. That done, he divided his men and set the horsemen into the midst of the footmen, for the enemy's horsemen were very many. Then sounded they, right, with the holy trumpets, whereupon Sendebius and his host were put to flight, so that many of them were slain, and the remnant get them to the strongholds. At that time was Judas, John's brother, wounded. But John still followed after him until he came to Cedron, which Sendebius had built. So they fled even unto the towers into the fields of Azotus. Wherefore he burnt it with fire, so that there were slain of them about 2,000 men. 2,000 men. Afterward, he returned into the land of Judea in peace. Moreover, in the plain of Jericho was Ptolemy, the son of Abusbus, made captain, he in abundance of silver and gold. Watch this. For he was the high priest's son-in-law. The high priest's son-in-law. Wherefore his heart being lifted up, he thought to get the country to himself, and thereupon consulted deceitfully against Simon and his son to destroy them. Now Simon was visiting the cities that were in the country, and taking care of the good ordering of them, at which time he came down himself to Jericho with his son, Mattathias and Judas, and 167th year, in the 11th month called Sabbath, where the son of Abusbus, receiving them deceitfully into the little hold called Daucus, which he had built, made them a great banquet. Howbeit he had hid men there. He made him a great banquet, all the food and everything else, and just set him up. So when Simon and his sons had drunk largely, Ptolemy and his men rose up and took their weapons and came upon Simon into the banqueting place, and slew him and his two sons and certain of his servants, in which doing he committed a great treachery and recompensed evil for good. They showed him good. For that good that they showed him, he showed them evil. Man, Simon was slew, man. They got caught up. Simon was in an old age too. All right, verse 18. Then Ptolemy wrote these things and sent to the king, that he should send him an host to aid him, and he would deliver him the country and cities. He sent others also to Gaza to kill John, and unto the tribunes he sent letters to come unto him, that he might give them silver and gold and reward. And others he sent to take Jerusalem and the mountain of the temple. Now one had run afore Gaza and told John that his father and brethren were slain, and quoth he, Ptolemy had sent to slay thee also. Hereof when he heard, he was sore astonished. So he laid hands on them that were come to destroy him, and slew them, for he knew that they sought to make him away. As concerning the rest of the acts of John, and his wars and worthy deeds which he did, and the building of the walls which he made, and his doings, behold, these are written in the chronicles of his priesthood, from the time he was made high priest after his father Simon had passed. All right, he was slew, he was killed, he was murdered, touching the blood of the righteous, man. Touch not thine anointed, as I said. All right, so now we're going into the last chapter. We're going into the first chapter of Second Maccabees right now, right? There's the Second Maccabees, chapter 1. The brethren, the Jews that be at Jerusalem and in the land of Judea, wish unto the brethren, the Jews that are throughout Egypt, health and peace. Shalom. Yahweh be gracious unto you, and remember his covenant that he made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, his faithful servants, and give you all in heart to serve him, and to do his will with a good courage and a willing mind, and upon your hearts in his law and commandments, and send you peace, and hear your prayers, and be at one with you, and never forsake you in time of trouble. And now we be here praying for you. What time as Demetrius reigned in the 139th year, we the Jews wrote unto you in the exterminate of troubles that came upon us in those years, from the time that Jason and his company revolted from the Holy Land and kingdom, and burnt the porch, and shed innocent blood. Then burnt the porch and shed innocent blood. Then we prayed unto the Lord. Then we prayed unto Yahweh, and were heard. We offered also sacrifices and fine flour, and lighted the lamps, and set forth the loaves. The bread will be changed every Sabbath day, I believe. And now see that ye keep the feast of tabernacles in the month of Caslu, in the 184th year. The people that were at Jerusalem and in Judea and in the councils in Judas sent greetings and health unto Aristobulus, King Ptolemy's master, who was of the stock of the anointed priests, and to the Jews that were in Egypt, insomuch as Yahweh have delivered us from great perils. We thank him highly, as having been in battle against a king, for he cast them out that fought within the holy city. For when the leader was come into Persia, and the army with him that seemed invisible, they were slain in the temple of Nineveh by the deceit of Nanias priest. And Antiochus, as though he would marry her, came into the place like he was about to marry, and his friends that were with him, to receive money in the name of a dowry, which when the priest of Nania had set forth, And he was entered with a small company into the compass of the temple. They shut the temple as soon as Antiochus was come in. He came in like he was getting married and getting a dowry. And they shut him in, right? And opening a private door of the roof, they threw stones like thunderbolts and stroked down the captain, hewed them in pieces, smote off their heads, and cast them to those that were without. They threw stones like thunderbolts down there. Got Edom. Verse 17, blessed be Yahweh in all things, who have delivered up the ungodly. Therefore, whereas we are now proposed to keep the purification of the temple upon the 25th day of the month, right? 25th day of the month, Caslu, we thought it necessary to certify you thereof, that ye also might keep it, as the feast of the tabernacles and of the fire which was given us. When Nehemiah offered sacrifice after that he had builded the temple and the altar. For when our fathers were led into Persia, right, the priests that were then devout took the fire out of the altar privately, hid it in a hollow place of a pit without water, where they kept it sure, so that the place was unknown to all men. Now, after many years, when it pleased Yahweh, Nehemiah, being sent from the king of Persia, did send of the posterity of those priests that had hid it to the fire, When they were told us, they found no fire, but thick water. Then commanded him them to draw it up and to bring it. And when the sacrifices were laid on, Nehemiah commanded the priests to sprinkle the wood and the things laid thereupon with water. Watch this. When this was done, and the time came that the sun shone, which afore was hid in the cloud, there was a great fire kindled, so that every man marveled. And the priest made a prayer while the sacrifice was consuming. I say, both the priest and all the rest, Jonathan beginning, and the rest answering thereunto, as Nehemiah did. And the prayer was after this manner: O Yahweh, master power. O master, Yahweh thy power, creator of all things, who art fearful and strong and righteous and merciful, and the only and gracious King, the only giver of all things, the only just, almighty, and everlasting, thou that deliverest Israel from all trouble, and didst choose the fathers and sanctify them. Receive the sacrifices for thy whole people Israel, and perceive thy own portion and sanctify it. Gather those together that are scattered from us. Deliver them that serve among the heathen. Look upon them that are despised and abhorred, and let the heathen know that thou art Yahweh. Punish them that oppress us, and with pride do us wrong. Plant thy people again in thy holy place. And Mashah hath spoken. And the priests sung psalms of thanksgiving. Now, when the sacrifice was consumed, Nehemiah commanded the water that was left to be poured on the great stones. When this was done, there was kindled a flame, but it was consumed by the light that shined from the altar. So when this matter was known, it was told the king of Persia that in the place where the priests that were led away had hid the fire, there appeared water, and that Nehemiah had purified the sacrifice therewith. Then the king, enclosing the place, made it holy after he had tried the matter. Then the king, enclosing the place, made it holy after he had tried the matter. And the king took many gifts and bestowed thereof on those on those whom he would gratify. And Nehemiah called this thing Nephthatator, which is in much to say as a cleansing, but many men call it Nephi. All right, that's the end of Maccabees. That's the end of Torah portion of the water. We all for staying with me, and Tawadi Yahweh for giving me a mind to teach and giving me the mind to understand and to go to his precepts and go to his law and do things. Tawadi Yahweh. With that, shalom.